I've had such a busy week lately, and I've had lots of thoughts as well, lots of wandering thoughts. I'm trying to practice reeling in my thoughts as they are in their like most draft or fresh state, because I actually feel like my ability to self-soothe is quite good at the moment, and I feel like I'm now in a better place to give myself the compassion and non-judgmental listening. Having a therapist is like it's so great because it's a person who can listen without judgment, and their focus is just on you, and it's made me reflect a lot on how to be a friend as well to my own friends. Although I don't have a lot of social media, I have Instagram and YouTube really, but I've always been at war with Instagram in particular. It just creates so much comparison and this highlight insight into everyone's lives and what everyone's up to, and sometimes I just want to be I guess in my own, like just living under a rock and minding my own business and focusing on my growth and connect to my community in person rather than online. There's too many people here. It's because the east side of the park is closed for music festivals, so everyone's here. I think I'll do a voiceover instead. I was just chatting to my housemate just now about how I feel about Instagram and describing basically that when I'm on Instagram, I use the timer function, so I don't spend more than 30 minutes a day, and I don't go on it every day as well, especially when I'm working. I feel like I don't use as much, but on the weekend a bit more, but max 30 minutes because I've got the timer set on my phone. And then when I'm on it, I'm like, oh, this is nice, this is good. And then once I'm off it, I kind of feel like it didn't make me feel good to see what I saw, or it wasn't like necessary and not really a good use of my time, or having more time on my phone. And that's why I always feel torn about having Instagram. But I like my photos and posting them and being able to like go look at like certain pages for venues or food places if I need to, and having that accessible to me. So I think I'm just gonna log out of it for now and try not to log in until maybe the weekend, like have more days where I don't use it at all, and having that extra step so that I don't just open it on autopilot, which I think is so ingrained in me even after not having Instagram for quite a few months in a row previously. It hasn't seemed to remove that autopilot of like opening my phone and then it's up there. I was able to not suggest the app because I have a Google Pixel, but then eventually that goes away and it starts suggesting it again, like when I swipe up my apps, it's there. But yeah, those are my current thoughts of how to manage that and still try to like have the app available, not be so far to just not have it at all, because if you don't have an account, it can be hard to look at certain things when you need to look at them. But I guess the question is, how often do I need to look at these things, and is the hassle of not having Instagram and the peace that I get from not having it does it far outweigh how useful it is to me? Who knows? Still to be decided. But now it's 9 o'clock. I've gone to my room and I'm gonna meditate now because I haven't meditated today. No, I'm usually a morning meditator. Now I'm gonna put my phone in a box over there and I am going to read, and then I'm gonna go to bed early. So I'm trying to put my alarm on now, but so I don't have to use my phone for the rest of the night. But yeah, that's the plan. Got a spot coming up that's itchy. Oh, okay, meditation time. I'm already sitting on my cushion. What I was touching on earlier, I read this post about things to ask yourself around boundaries, and some of the questions I saw on this post was to ask yourself, is this person I'm sharing with capable of understanding this information and emotionally supporting me, whether it's a peer, therapist, adult, family member? Yeah, is the other person capable of understanding what it is you're sharing? Because if they aren't, it isn't usually going to be a great conversation, because they'll probably give you advice, unwarranted advice, from their level of understanding, which can be like quite far from the reality of the situation. And I feel like I should reflect on this a bit more than just openly sharing. Another one is, does the person I'm sharing about know I'm sharing information with another person? And this is why I always go back to reading from the book that I'm currently reading on, like the heart of the Buddha's teaching, which is Right Speech, which talks a lot about like how you communicate and making sure that you're not really spreading, things like gossip and talking about people in a way that's not very compassionate. And if they were in the room and they heard what you were saying, how would it make them feel? I like it a lot because I think as humans we find it quite easy to connect with each other in this kind of like low vibrational way of talking about other people in a more judgmental way to make ourselves feel like we're connecting on this other level because we're different to that. And that's why I read it a lot, because I think you can get swept away in what other people are doing by being on autopilot and not being mindful. But rereading these precepts reminds me like what I think is right. I was gonna read, I still have time to read, but I think I'm actually gonna do some manifestation, which I haven't done in a while, and I think it's a good night for it, because I put my alarm on just now and it said I have like 10 hours. So I'm gonna try to basically give myself 9 hours, maybe 9.5 hours, that with all the amount of restlessness in my sleep, I'll ideally have 8.5 hours sleep, which will be a good catch up from this busy week.